after enjoying great success with its 7 series phones, iQOO appears to be going big with its flagships for 2022. The new iQOO 9 series phones are not only faster in comparison to the phones launched by the company last year, but also look far more premium than them. And to spice up the mix, the two phones also sport flagship grade cameras that can match the performance of the most expensive camera phones in the market. But that's a conversation for another day. Right now, we have with us the iQOO 9 Pro, and because it's still a no-nonsense gaming phone at heart, we'll be testing its performance in games and real-world scenarios to give you an idea if it's worth your money. But before we get to all of the fun stuff, let me welcome you all to Digit.in, your one-stop shop for all your latest tech news, gadget reviews, and more. So if you're new, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share our content. With that out of the way, let's get this gaming and performance review of the iQOO 9 Pro started. The iQOO 9 Pro is amongst the most powerful, if not the most powerful phone in the business right now. And this is because it packs the absolute best hardware money can buy in pretty much all the departments. So for the display, we see the company uses 6.78-inch 120Hz LTPO AMOLED panel with a normal maximum brightness of 500 nits, 1000 nits in the high brightness mode, and localized brightness of 1500 nits while watching HDR10+ or HDR high dynamic range videos. This is a 10-bit panel that can display 1.07 billion colors and is also backed by an intelligent display chip that brings with itself a number of neat tricks to improve not just gaming, but also the experience of watching movies or even browsing the internet on the phone. Then underneath the hood, we have the biggest hardware upgrade to the device in the form of the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset. Built using a 4nm fabrication process, this chipset comes with 3-cluster Kryo 780 CPU and an Adreno 730 GPU. This has been paired to up to 12 GB of LPDDR5 RAM. The phone is also backed by a big 4700 mAh battery pack, which can be charged really fast using the phone's 120-watt fast charger. Plus, of course, there's support for 50-watt wireless fast charging. But the big question is, does all this state-of-the-art hardware on the iQOO 9 Pro come together to provide sustained powerful performance? To our surprise, the answer was not always yes. While the powerful hardware managed to pull the device through pretty much all basic tasks, it surprisingly did not perform consistently well in benchmarks and some games. While it's true the iQOO 9 Pro offers powerful performance along with an overall enjoyable gaming experience thanks to its rich feature set, it does not manage to do it consistently across the board for all games or for that matter benchmarks. To gauge the phone's gaming performance, we tested the phone using demanding titles such as Call of Duty 5, Asphalt 9 Legends, and also Genshin Impact. Of the three, the iQOO 9 Pro handled the first two titles with relative ease at the highest possible graphics settings. However, when we switched to Genshin Impact, the performance was not at the same levels that we experienced with the other two titles. Unlike the first two titles, the phone did not manage consistent frame rates, with the FPS dropping to mid-30s consistently. Even in Asphalt 9 Legends, the frame rate dropped at times to mid-40s in game, but this proved to be the outlier instead of the norm for the game. The benchmark results of the iQOO 9 Pro were also a mixed bag, with the phone promising a lot with its high AnTuTu and 3D Mark wildlife scores, but then surprisingly faltering in other popular benchmarks like PC Mark Work 3, where it scored significantly lesser than the ROG Phone 5S, which is powered by last year's Snapdragon 888 Plus SoC. We found this to be very surprising, especially because the scores lack consistency across all benchmarks, or for the matter, even games. Therefore, our best guess is the issue is possibly at the software end, with the iQOO 9 Pro's generally clean OS not able to maximize the performance or the powerful chip at hand. Which honestly is not a deal breaker at the moment, as the company is already working on an update to improve the performance of the device. However, what we did find concerning was the iQOO 9 Pro's performance in the CPU throttling test and also its tendency to heat up when tasked to run heavy-duty games and benchmarks. In the CPU benchmark, we found the phone throttling to about 69% of its performance, barely after 15 minutes of the test. This again could be because of the phone's software not handling the hardware right, or just a case of poor thermals bottlenecking the performance. Regardless, we were left asking for more from this beast that the iQOO 9 Pro promises to be. While the performance of the iQOO 9 Pro remains a mixed bag for now, what remains undeniable is the potential the phone offers. iQOO calls it the intelligent display chip, which can increase the frame rate and optimize colors to improve visual experiences during games. The chip also promises to reconstruct the image details through algorithms to make the colors more vivid and jack up low-quality SDR images to fidelity levels similar to HDR. iQOO is also selling a separate Gamepad accessory, which can further improve the gaming experience on the device. The iQOO Gamepad comes with a D-pad, a joystick, 2 action buttons and a shoulder button on the top. While it snaps to the phone physically, the connection between the iQOO 9 Pro and the Gamepad is established over Bluetooth. This accessory is being sold separately at an affordable price point, which could see it becoming quite popular with a lot of buyers. Despite promising a lot, the iQOO 9 Pro is not the perfect gaming phone for the here and now. It offers powerful hardware and gaming-first features that make it very interesting offering. But surprisingly, its current performance levels do not justify the hype around it, or for that matter, the price tag attached to it. Both in benchmarks and in some games, it fails to perform at the levels that it could and should. While we're not sure what's holding it back, one thing is for sure, it's not the hardware. So for now, our advice would be to skip buying this phone and possibly wait for news of an update that improves the performance of the iQOO 9 Pro. But if you just can't wait to buy your next gaming phone, then the iQOO 9 Pro is not the worst choice in the market. Yes, there is the ROG Phone 5S that's currently retailing at a much more affordable price point. But it is neither as future-proof as the iQOO device, nor can it offer the extras that the iQOO 9 Pro offers. Unlike the competition, the iQOO 9 Pro is a well-rounded gaming phone, which can easily pass off as a full-blown flagship. And that honestly is its biggest strength. One that also masks its other weaknesses. So that was a gaming and performance review of the iQOO 9 Pro. If you like the content, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.